Just talk about what you thought the problem was early on.
Well, first of all, they played at a great pace and they made shots, and Kemba was great. We couldn't stop him. Cody Zeller was playing at a higher energy level than anybody else on the floor a lot of the game. And, you know, Henderson has always really given us fits, and I thought all three of those guys looked like they were at a different level early. We weren't very good.
Coach, can you give your thoughts on James Young's performance? And obviously, he hasn't played much for you guys this season, and him being able to step in and make those types of contributions.
Well, I think it speaks to the impact of being able to go back and forth to Maine and keep his game sharp as he waited his turn and got through some injuries. But he did a good job.
Hey, Coach, just to piggyback off of that, what does his performance do in terms of your thoughts about the rotation and just trying to get it?
I don't know, Sherrod. I don't know. I've got to figure out how to coach this team better. I'm not doing a very good job. We're not playing well, and we're playing almost. It's not good basketball. We've got to do a better job playing good basketball. Figure out the rotations later once we start playing good basketball, and once we all are very focused on playing good basketball, and that's on me. I got to do a better job.
Your starters tonight, this is one of the few games where it really seemed that, other than Jarrett, no one could really kind of get into the flow, either end of the floor. Any rhyme or reason behind?
I don't know. I got to figure out a way to get those guys to play. You know, and that's on me. We weren't very organized offensively. We weren't very good defensively. We got torched by one guy. Pretty bad coaching.
Brad, there was one play when Ryan Roberts hit a three. It was kind of a scramble. You got the ball, hit the three. You were especially kind of distressed about that.
Yeah, we left the shooter.
Is that, was that a defensive breakdown, or was that just kind of things that happen when you guys are kind of scrambling?
I thought in the moment it was, but I'll go back and watch. But it's not really a defensive breakdown as much as just a momentary lapse, and you can't have those. I mean, we don't guard the three-point line well enough, and we need to do a better job in all those areas. But we've had a lot of lapses, and again, I think that I need to do a better job with that.
One more, Brad. How tough is it? It seems like you don't have any idea how this team's going to perform from Chicago. A strong effort.
Yeah, we got to get to the point where we know. We got to get to the point where we know. We got to know it every day. We got to play the right way every day. That was really disappointing. That was a disappointing effort all around.
Brad, why do you think Cody Zeller was able to have such success against you guys? Was it just his energy?
Super energy. That's what he is. He plays really hard all the time, and he's a quick 7-footer. Like, he's a good driver. He's physical. He beats people to balls. You see on tape all that stuff, and you have to at least match it. And sometimes you have, in an ideal world, you beat it, but very rarely do you beat a high energy player's energy. You just have to play with that kind of same stuff. Otherwise, it can hurt you. Kid Gilchrist is that kind of player. It's an interesting team because the first group doesn't shoot it normally. Kemba obviously shot it tonight, but they only attempted 1-3 other than him, the starting group. And then the backups are all, for the most part, three-point shooters. So it's a really unique team to prepare for and play. The energy level of the first group has been phenomenal in most of the games I've watched, including they beat Orlando pretty good the other day. And it was pretty similar type of game. They're at 52-29 or something, and they set the tone for how the game was going to be played.
Brad, you had said before the game you felt pretty good about your starting lineup. Is it an energy thing with them? Getting off to some of the starts they do?
I think we talked about this earlier last week. I think it's some of the starts are. I think it's easy to group things together right now. When when things don't go your way. I mean, I still think it's just as many lapses in the middle of games. The start today was poor. The start in Chicago wasn't great, but we were up by 7 or whatever, you know, in the first quarter and end of the first quarter, late in the first quarter. So I don't know that it's a trend.
Coach, one more question on James Young. Obviously, we all know that he can put the ball through the basket, but where else has he grown the most this season and shown you the strides that he's taken forward?
I'll tell you how he responds.
You played all 13 guys. You tried some lineups that you haven't used all season. Were you just trying to figure out any way to get some energy boost?
Yes. That is exactly it.
And is that a tough thing when, as a coach, you just gotta, like, what makes you get
It doesn't
better?
happen very often, Jay. I mean, that's a very, very rare day, but, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just made shots, and I just, you know, reacted to that more than I should have. I just didn't think I didn't think it was equal. You know, again, you know, we played Saturday, they played Saturday, they played a back-to-back, Friday, Saturday, we played a back-to-back, we both had days off. You know, you're at home, you know, on a really fun night for our organization, and you got played. It's not okay.
Coach, you played all 13 players that you had available to you by about the middle of the third quarter. How do you think that affects your rotation going forward?
No idea. I think tonight was more of an anomaly because I just couldn't, you know, I was throwing darts. I can act like I know the answer to your question, but I was throwing darts.